Hello, hello, hello. Happy Easter. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Darryl Moore, and we have a special show today. We're going to be interviewing Mr. Timothy Waters. He's the owner of the community grocery store in Florence, South Carolina. And on your way in, please click like and share. Welcome, Mr. Waters.
Welcome, man. Welcome. Oh, man, what a blessing to see you, man. Welcome. Blessing to be here, too.
Thank you for letting me interview you. I have been following you on social media, and I always said, I want to interview this man. And then some friends of mine right there where you live, two pastors by the name of both from ministers, Bishops Hyman, the Hyman brothers. They're both
Hyman,
pastors.
yeah, Bishop Hyman. I know. I met him. His dad was a minister as well, wasn't he?
Right.
Yeah, I knew Bishop Hyman. I never knew the boys, but I knew the dad.
Yeah, and they recommended me. I said, man, you need to do him, interview him on your show. I said, oh yeah, I've been trying to reach him, and he put me in touch with you because I've been trying to find you. And,
wow. Okay.
Yeah, because I really wanted to talk to you because what you're doing, not many people of color are doing, which is having a grocery store, especially in communities that are underserved. Well,
Correct.
They refer to them as food deserts.
Food desert. You're right.
Yeah.
I closed the food desert. Believe it or not.
Right. My fraternity brother did a documentary a couple of years ago about food deserts, and it just so happens that ever since I saw that documentary, I've always been interested in anybody that's willing to go in and open a grocery store in a community that's been underserved.
Correct.
And you just fell right into my lap. That's just a blessing because I want to know, one, what it takes to get started doing something like that. How did you get started?
Well, I'm a grants writer. I used to work for the PD Community Action Agency, and basically it's a 1965. Lyndon B. Johnson created this endowment to where it allowed like Head Start and pay your light bills, light heap, and things like that. So I was a grants writer. So in my neighborhood, I just always wanted to build a store. So for 20 years, man, I tried to build a grocery store, man. 20 years. And it just took me that long just to get the momentum enough to actually build, because building a grocery store is a really, really huge financial endeavor where you only make 3 to 4% profit. That's why you don't see a lot of grocery stores in the hood, because who's going to invest $6 million to make $600 a month? That's not that, a lot of people don't know that, but the volume that you turn over is where the real income comes in. So I wrote a grant, and here I am now.
That's great. So did you start this on your own, or you partnered with somebody, or how's that work?
I was a grants writer, and her name is Clarissa Atkinson Williams. She was a grants writer. Matter of fact, she was her nephew played for Connecticut, Rod Sellers, and Emma Sellers. Up in your area, you should know about Connecticut and Rod Sellers, and
right.
Kristen Lather, he did. So she was a grants writer, and she hired me, and right out of, I think, in 1992. And what she did, the federal government used to give you these development books of case studies with what happened across the country. And there were 3 things that she did. She said, Tim, you need to develop a grocery store. You need to develop and most people are going to be surprised by the next one, develop a cemetery. I know you could say, what? Why would you do that? But and develop a means for people to actually build their own homes. So I saw these brochures, and I've been trying to write a grant ever since then for a grocery store.
Okay. So before you had got into the grocery store business, what were you doing before you got it, besides the grant writing?
Grant writer. Have you ever? I got a computer science degree.
Okay.
And I thought I was going to be Tyler Perry. In college, I wrote plays. At Francis Marion University, I wrote plays. So what happened was I write plays, and Clarissa was a Bushua Foundation. That was her, Bushua, Kwanzaa and things like that. So what she did was she hired me to do a play, her and the Senator Maggie Glover, which was the first African-American senator in South Carolina, and Reconstruction. So what she did was she was like, hey, Tim, why don't you come and write some grants? So I just wrote grants. I wrote the most powerful. I worked for the Boys and Girls Club too. A lot of everybody knows the Boys and Girls Club. So my whole life I've been doing with youth, kids. But I wrote this wheat and seed grant. you need to Google weed and seed. Weed and seed was ahead of its time.
Mm-hmm.
What it did was it weeded out the bad things in the community and it seeded in the good things. So I started writing grants, and I used to have 16 police officers that used to report to me every day.
Mm.
And what we did was we went to the community, and I know maybe I shouldn't say this, but it's okay. We used to we used to go to the community and clean it up. I'm talking about nobody. And let me tell you what clean it up means. These officers, they adjudicated cases on the street.
Mm-hmm.
What you mean is that if we caught you out there doing something wrong, we say, hey, look, whatever you need to stop. Let's try to work something. Now, if you broke the law, you went to jail. But those fringe kids, you in the wrong place at the wrong time, or you riding around and all y'all got wine in the car. Okay, you need to go to Weed and Seed and to dispose this, and I want to see you there Tuesday. And that's how we worked it, man.
Okay. So I had somebody in chat wanted to know, where would you recommend a person go to learn how to write grants?
Well, that's a good question. The way you can write grants is to go on grants.gov, get an RFP, which is a request for proposal, and start writing down the questions.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people think grants are difficult. Grant writing isn't difficult. The hardest thing about grant writing is most people don't want to do the research.
Mm-hmm.
I can't hit a basketball. I mean, I can't hit a baseball. I'm not that good at basketball. Football, I played a little bit, but if you hit me too many times, I'm gonna stop. I know how to research. Most people don't research anymore. When I started writing grants where they gave something called a federal monitor. Where you had to that was before the internet. That means you had to read it and understand it. So first thing I would say do is get an application and start answering the questions.
And those questions, they ask you a questionnaire, what you're trying to accomplish, what you need, things.
No, they don't. Let me. I shouldn't tell. I probably need to get paid for this. But when you write a grant, you need to write a grant backwards. What do I mean by backwards? You got to take say you want to ask me for $500, right? What you need to do is, most people say, well, tell me what you want it for. No, that's not what you tell me what you want it for. What you want to do is you take the $500 and you write the $500 down first. Then you say, okay, I'm going to buy 25. Let's take you want to open up a plumbing business. I'm going to do it real quick. Okay, I want $500. I want a grant to do a plumbing business, right? And I only want $500. What you do is you take the $500 down. Then you write down everything you're going to buy with the $500. Then you go back and tell what you're going to use the $500 to fix. And then you're going to tell why you're fixing it. So if you take your grant and go backwards from the budget up, that's what funders are looking for.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Man, I should charge somebody $5,000 for that information right there.
Hey, that's a big help. Now, when you do that, what's the normal turnaround once you submit for a grant?
When you do for a grant, this is the answer. Well, you're talking about it's just some grants are based. The federal government grants aren't hitting no more, and I hate to bust people bubble because most councilmen or congressmen, they had what you call entitlement funds. That means that if you were a councilman of my district, I got funds earmarked for my community. So what happened was as the administration changed, now instead of getting grants, most people, where I used to write a grant of just me and other local nonprofits, now I'm writing against cities and municipalities and universities. So now these grants are so competitive to where you have to actually literally already have somebody on the inside looking for your grant, else you're not going to get funded. And I shouldn't say that. And I know people are going to say, why could you say that? 25 years, if you don't know nobody on the inside, you ain't getting no grant. And the higher the grant is, think about it. What's the first thing Donald Trump did to Harvard? What did he do? No, he didn't. He stopped their grants. See, once you stop a person's grant money, that's the that controls their growth, their future. Because most of these big universities, they make it off of grants. A lot of people don't realize that. I've been in the grant business for 27 years, so I know grants are the way to go.
So when you finally got someone on the inside to give you the green light to open your grocery store, did they help you find? Was there agencies to help you find the location, or you already had a location in mind when you went ahead with it?
Well, what happened was I used to work for the location of my grocery store. I was born across the street.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was born. Matter of fact, I can walk to work. So what happened was I saw the grocery store when I was a little boy. I remember back in this mom and pops, and I never forget my mom gave me a paper bag. And when I went to the grocery store, I got the groceries. I gave him the bag. I got the groceries, and also and all of a sudden the next day my field trip was paid. So one day I opened that bag and it was $8 in there. I was like, what? Do you get money from the grocery store? So what happened was back in the day, they used to credit people that, during the grocery store was not only the food, but it was financing as well. Because you can dodge a lot of bills, but you ain't going to dodge a grocery store bill. You're going to pay that.
That's true.
Well, besides not a light bill, you're going to pay your light bill, water. No, I take that back. Your lights can get cut off. Your water can get cut off. Your food cannot get cut off. So when I saw that, I was instilled in me to try to actually develop my own grocery store. And since then, I always knew that was power.
Mm-hmm. So you're right across from where you grew up.
Right.
You born and raised right there. So you saw the need that the community had for a grocery store because everybody that lived where you grew up had to go outside of that neighborhood to go shop.
A dollar used to come in our neighborhood and leave in 5 seconds.
So there was nothing to keep the money in the community.
There was nothing to keep the money in the community. And then what makes it so bad, we as African Americans, what we did was there were 15 stores for people that didn't look like us that never closed. 15 stores. So what I did was I marched on them. I protest. I did a march. Nobody marched with me. My son, Matt Geddes, Isaac Williams, Robert. Man, Robert passed away, but Robert, I just remember those 4 people that marched with me. And they said, hey, march for your store. And that was the movement when I started back then. And my son, Brandon Waters, he marched with me as well.
Okay. So you got the store. First of all, you got the land. Was the land sitting empty for a long time?
Let me tell you something, how I got this land. And this is the honest truth. I got this grant. I got a grant. The city created something. The city of Florence created something called a TIF district, which is a tax incentive district. A tax incentive district means that a city or a municipality can borrow future funding to develop a piece of land that the bank won't loan money to. Let's say you wanted to build a house, and the bank says, okay, you're gonna build a house on your street. Your street is called 8th Street, and all of a sudden you build this house, but it doesn't hold a value. So the bank's not going to loan you any money. So the city of Florence created this TIF district, and they gave out $250 million. However, the local city councilman, Ed Robinson, they only gave us African Americans $200,000 out of $250 million. And the person that got the money was a doctor. So Ed Robinson said, hey, Tim, won't you take the class? Won't you try to go in the class? They're going to turn you down, and me and you going to start a class action suit against them. But when I took the class, a funny thing happened. The city of Florence embraced me. They said, we're looking for you. We want to help you with the store. So they bent over backwards and did all kind of things to make it happen. That store in Florence right now that I am purchasing, that I own, would not be here without the city of Florence, because they looked past my economic status, they looked past my color, and they made it happen.
So you got the money to purchase the land. Then after you got the land, you had to find a builder. Was that all part of that package, or that was separate?
And I actually worked for the builder. And one of the things, right now we're in litigation about that builder right now. We had one builder we had to fire. They fired him. They fired him. And they had to get someone else to build the building. And when they got this other person to build the building, they finished it. One of the local builders here was FBI Construction. His dad, Ken Gunther, his dad vouched for me to build this grocery store. And his son built it 20 years later. So FBI Construction, they bent over backwards to make this happen. I mean, they did some stuff to make it happen. They were incredible. They worked around me. They let me, they did a good job. They did a really good job, man. I would. If you want something built in Florence, go to FBI Construction.
Okay. So you got the store open. Did you have any pushback as far as getting permits and all that stuff? Because it's a lot.
No. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong. I built my store when Covert came out. Covert started. You know what? Can I say this? And
Go ahead.
You remember everybody got the PPP loans back then?
Yeah.
A lot of people got those loans and they wasn't qualified for them.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. My PPP loan was $2,100
for a grocery store.
My PPP loan was $2,100 for a grocery store, because you got to remember, when I did my PPP loan, I wanted to be truthful. I could have easily turned in some 990s and said I had 10 employees, and that's what people did.
They did. They sure did.
990s, but I knew they were going to come back at me. So
they put you in jail.
Yeah, there's no way in the world I'm going to turn in a fake 990. So I turned in an actual 990 to where my 990, I told them, I said, look, I'm developing the store. It's not open. I'm still trying to open it up. I was making $12,000 a year. That's all I turned in. So, that's what happened. But, I could have gotten $300,000 or $2 million from PP, but I know later on, man, that thing was going to come back and haunt you.
Right. It sure will.
I deal with the federal government my whole life. Alberta Durant from the PD Community Action Agency, she taught me to be fiscally prudent. And you know what fiscally prudent means?
Tell the truth.
If I give you $1 million, but I give you $200 to handle that, how much money do you have? $200.
Yeah. Let
me say that again. If I give you $1 million and I give you $2 million to handle that, how much money you got? $2. Don't get misconception with that. And she taught me my fiscal prowess, and right now she's taught me some things about fiscal autonomy, how to be fiscally responsible. Because one thing about it, you can't straighten them records out 5 years later, and that's when they come get you. You're supposed to take $100 and take the kids to Disney World, but you took the kids to Chuck E. Cheese and spend 10, and you got over. 5 years later, they said, "Can I see that Disney World receipt?" That's a different category.
So they audit you down the road.
They audit you down the road, so you have to audit yourself before you go down that road.
Interesting. So you will get caught.
Well, not only you will get caught, you not only will you get caught, you already caught when they give you the money. Because somebody's already figured out what you're going to do wrong anyway. They just wait for you to do it. That's what most African-American business don't realize. Guess who do my tax returns?
Who?
The IRS. Why would you let the IRS do your tax returns? The reason I let the IRS do my tax returns is because I'll call them and say, hey, look, this is how much I made. How much do I owe? And they'll say, well, Tim, you need to pay this. And I don't even H&R Block, tax credit, all that. Man, bump that. I'm going straight to the IRS and say, is this a deductible? Yes or no? I ain't trying to sugarcoat nothing. If the IRS say, okay, Tim, no, that deductible, you can't get number $30. Guess what I'm going to turn in? $30. Because guess what happens to my tax return when I go to the IRS? It's not audited. That's what people don't realize. I'm sorry, you getting it all. You get the
that's why I wanted to interview you, because I wanted to know, because there are people that maybe they don't want to open a grocery store, but they want to open some other business, and they need to know the right way, the legal way to do things, so that they don't have any pushback.
Call the state, go to the IRS, go to the state office, tell them what you're doing, open your books, and then show them, man, because they're gonna be the ones that come at you anyway. And then you'll be surprised what they'll do.
So if you just get it out the way from the jump, you don't have to worry about nothing.
Hey, I know what to write off. I know what. And then this is the thing. Let's say they work with you and you don't call them. They got a record of you. When they call you, your number pop up. They be like, hey, Mr. Waters, what can I do for you? I'd be like, you know what? I did my taxes wrong, man. I know I owe this $200, but can I make $2 payments? They said, Mr. Waters, we're going to look out for you because we know you ain't lying. Because, and that's all it is.
Okay. So once you got through all the red tape, got your insurance, got your license, permits, and everything, then what did you have to do?
Then I had to find a builder, and that's where the trouble started. I found a builder that didn't quite work out, but we found another builder, FBI, and we built the grocery store, and we opened.
Mm-hmm. So when you got everything built, and did you hired a staff?
Let's back up. I'm gonna tell you this
Okay.
is a true story.
Okay.
I didn't know most people don't. I didn't know a grocery store needed a DHEC inspection, like a restaurant. You get an A, B, C. You don't know that a grocery store has to have A, B, C, even if you A, B, C, D rated. So 3 days before I opened, I didn't have an A, B, C rating. So I had to get an inspection in less than 2 days to open my store. So that was that. But because of FBI building it correctly, making sure they did it right, when it was a breeze. So like I said, FBI, Ken Gunther, that group, Jeff was my superintendent, and man, he made it. He was, me and him was there together. He made it happen. So, and that's what happened. Then I opened it, and I took it from there.
Okay. So how many people were you starting out with as far as employees?
I hired 9 people.
Okay.
And I had a payroll of roughly about $7,000 every 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. And so when you first started, you was there almost day and night, huh? Open and close.
Let's see. For the last 3 years, I've had 3 days off.
Oh wow.
Matter of fact, I worked this morning.
Wow.
And just only reason I closed early was to make sure so I could come home and take a shower and put a good shirt on, and chill out in my living room. Now my living room doesn't look like this. I'm still at work, man. I mean, I had a freezer. I had my freezer. My freezer. I got the installment guys showed me how to defrost my freezer. So I had to call somebody, and they told me it was going to take $2,100 to defrost my freezer
at the store.
At the store, and I did it myself.
Oh wow.
Because I showed this repair guy came, and he was an Alabama fan, and I took my phone, and while he was repairing the freezer, I let him watch the Alabama game, and as he billed me, and we watched the whole game. And when we finished, he said, "Hey man, let me show you what to do." And he walked me through like maybe 30 minutes and showed me how to program my unit, how to take it and put it in defrost, how to make the refrigerant go back to the reservoir. Man, he showed me some stuff, man, that saved me he saved me at least about 9 G's that night.
Yeah, every penny counts, especially with you being an independent. Are you a part of the IGA?
No, I'm what you call a MDI. I'm an independent. I'm not an IGA, but I can buy IGA products. It's funny that you can ask that. I had to really fight to get groceries back in my store after Save-A-Lot pulled out.
Now, what happened with the Save-A-Lot thing?
Oh man, Save-A-Lot was charging me 313 days of inventory. In other words, every week I had to spend $50,000 a week with Save-A-Lot.
Even if you didn't sell the stuff from the week before,
it didn't matter. In order for them to send me a truck, they wanted $50,000 every week.
So you was getting stuck with almost $2-3 million bill from them every year.
Every year. So what I did was I knew it was coming. I knew the bill was coming. So what I did was I started selling shares to the community and save.
Yeah, that's what I want you to tell the people.
I broke it down. Well, what I did was the community store I was building, and I got it going. So what I did was I knew that to break the generational wealth cycle, I had to pass it on. So what I did was I contacted the U.S. Stock Exchange. People don't believe that you can call the U.S. Stock Exchange and they will help you. Once again, remember what I said? Who did my taxes?
IRS.
So who better to tell me how to sell shares in my store than the U.S. Stock Exchange? So I used this U.S. Stock Exchange, put me on the phone with a lawyer and a paralegal at the same time. I did something called 140. I did an exemption called 147A, and I did a state exemption called 206A. And what it does is it's just like crowdfunding. If you live in the state of South Carolina, I can sell you, since I operate in South Carolina, I can raise funds for individuals and it's tax exempt, meaning that I don't have to report that income so long as I create a board that says, okay, if you gave me $20 and I said I'm going to wash cars with this $20, so long as I wash cars, the U.S. Stock Exchange don't care. They get in trouble when you do something different. Then I had to contact the U.S. Attorney in South Carolina, Alan Wilson. I called him and said, "Hey man, what should I do?" And he said, "Tim, send me $300. Give me a list of your board, and you're good to go." And that's how I sold shares in my store.
So I live here in Ohio. So
Right.
if I start a company and I call the stock exchange and I say, "Hey, I want to start a film company and I want to sell shares in the company so that I can develop capital to expand my company," I would do the same thing that you did.
Yeah, but the caveat is you only can sell to people that live in Ohio,
Mm-hmm.
and they got a residence in Ohio.
Right.
And what you do is so long as you are generating income in your state, you are exempt. It's just like crowdfunding.
Mm-hmm.
And you can also go online and advertise.
So is there a limit to the amount of shares that I can sell?
Well, I can make I think the first year you can do up to $1 million.
Shoot, that's enough. Well, not maybe for your industry, but for me, that's enough for me to shoot 10 films.
Yeah, you can do $1 million. And what you can do, you can pre-finance your films before they even sold. And people all over the state of Ohio can send you money. And when they make an investment in you, they can do a tax deduction. They can do a tax deduction if they say, like, if you're doing a film that's helping the community, it's tax deductible. Say you're doing a film about saving what's a Buckeye? Say the Buckeye.
Hey, I'm still, since I moved here, it's actually a nut that grows on a tree like an acorn.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, be careful what you say about, if you're in Ohio, be careful what you say about them. I'm a Michigan man, I'm sorry, but
me too.
Yeah, I'm a Wolverine Flint, the executive director from the boys clubs. Her name was Marjorie Willis, and she was from Flint, Michigan. And she took us to Flint, Michigan. And you know what she did when she took us to Flint, Michigan? I'm gonna say something, you won't believe it. She stopped at the Walmart and she bought 7 cases of water. He told us don't drink the water when we was in Flint, Michigan, and that was 17 years ago. Hello.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because that water in Flint is still bad.
That water in Flint was bad when I was coming up, man. And Marjorie Willis was like, look, she didn't want anybody to get sick at the Boys and Girls Club coming on, because us. So she bought. I couldn't understand why she told us to. Not only that, when we went to her house, she cooked some grits. She used bottled water. I was like, why would you do that? She was like, nah, Tim, don't drink that water. And she never told me why. But now I know. Brown water, man.
Yes. We got to talk offline about that, the shareholder. So do they put a cap on how much you can sell your shares for, or is that strictly up to you?
Well, what you do is you take $1 million and you divide it by what you think. I sold my shares for $25 a share because I wanted a person who couldn't afford to buy $10,000 or $15,000 to where everybody could be able to buy these. And right now I have I got 800 shareholders. My youngest shareholder, his name is Miles. My youngest shareholder, he's 2 months old.
Wow. So you created generational wealth for him. So by the time he turned 18, 21, he got stock in a grocery store. That's
why Save-A-Lot was so adamant about getting rid of me, because you got to remember what I'm doing now is I'm breaking the generational wealth curse. There's this detergent called True Detergent, which is a black-owned detergent company in Georgia. And they're bred by three Muslims. Salim is who I talk to. Malik Salim is who do business with me. And he sent me on consignment. He sent me $200 with detergent. I sold that detergent out in 2 days. So I sent him some money and I said, send me some more detergent. So already in less than 1 week, I've kept that dollar in the community for almost 2 weeks, and with one product.
So that leads me to my next question. You try to stock your store with minority-owned products, correct?
Correct.
That's your first goal, and then you're going outside.
Yeah, then I'm going outside.
So, but as much as possible. So, if somebody has a product and they want to put it in your store, you try, and they're a minority, you're trying to work with them first.
Yeah,
As long as it makes good business sense.
As long as it makes good business sense. See, what happened is that the best thing happened to African Americans was Donald Trump.
Why you say that?
Well,
I kind of say that jokingly too, but I said because
I say it realistically, because what Donald Trump did is he made us come back together. In the 50s, in the 60s, all we knew was each other. So now what they're doing is I'm sorry, I don't know. I must have hit. I'm sorry. Now what they're doing is that the Tuskegee, all of these black Wall Streets are now coming together. But guess where our black Wall Streets are located on? TikTok. TikTok is the new black Wall Street for most people. But what happened is when Elon Musk and Donald Trump got ready when they get ready to shut, they're not shutting TikTok down because it's a Japanese company. They want to shut TikTok down because it's a wraparound for African Americans to do business with themselves. We don't have to go to the good old boys no more. We can sell our stuff directly to us.
Right.
Yeah. So what I did was now I'm creating a black Wall. I'm creating a black Amazon. I'm gonna be the next black Jeff Bezos. I know I am, because what happened is that I'm the only black-owned grocery store in the state of South Carolina, in the state of Texas, and the state of Alabama, and the state of North Carolina. I know I'm the only black-owned grocery store in the state of Ohio. Can you name another one?
I don't know of any, to be honest.
So now, what happens is, say you send me. I have this. Matter of fact, I have this young lady. She makes jewelry. She lives in Michigan.
Yeah.
And she's in Lake Erie. She polishes her jewelry and she sends it to me. Matter of fact, she's sending me $15 worth of jewelry. That she got the stones from Lake Erie. She's polishing them and she makes. I told her to make some waist beads, because that's what people in South Carolina, girls like, waist beads. So I told her to make some jewelry from Lake Michigan. And when she sent me this jewelry, she's sending me this jewelry, now I'm going to create an online store where you can buy it from us. So just imagine, like Pastor Jamal Bryant. Are you familiar with him down in Georgia?
Yeah. I used to go to that church before I moved to Atlanta, from Atlanta here.
Okay, guess what he's doing? He's saying, come to the church, all y'all shoppers, and buy. Just imagine if they came to the community grocery store website and buy. That's the new thing that I'm doing now. I'm the only African American grocery store, and I'm seeking donations as well, and we're trying to make it happen.
So in order for somebody to buy shares in your company, they have to be a resident of the state of South Carolina. That's the only requirement. That's
the only requirement. You got to be a resident. However, there's another way that you can invest in our store as well.
How's that?
I partner with the national. You might want to. I'm gonna say it slow so people can write it down. I partner with the National Black Farmers.org. NationalBlackFarmers.org.
That's what it's called. I'm gonna type it and put it in.
Yeah, NationalBlackFarmers.org. And Google that. John Boyd. They got $10 billion for the farmers. Kara Boyd. That's his wife, and that's who I'm working with. She's the Native American Farmers Association. And you can go on their website and you can make a donation to me, and it's tax deductible.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's tax. So right now, my story is so prevalent with what's going on in the country, is that once people find out that they can donate and you can get a tax write-off. Who don't want to? And I don't know if are you able to Google it right now? Yeah, nationalblackfarmers.org. You go on that website, and the second list, and you'll see me, and you could donate to the store, and it's a tax write-off. Yeah, you Google it, and matter of fact, I pulled it up just now. Hey, someone called me and said, you're doing a good job on your show. Thank you.
Oh, that's cool.
All right, good afternoon. Coming from you
Yeah, and it lets you donate. This group is not National Black Farmers, it's just blackfarmers.org.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, blackfarmers.org.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow that. But did it pull up?
I'm about to check it now. Yeah, I got it. It did come up. I got it.
Okay, you toggle down, keep going. You see John Boy, you see Ben Crump, $2 billion, and then you see me. Donate to
I
save
see the community store at the bottom. I do. I see you at the
Listen,
bottom,
man,
right?
think about what God has done. He's put me on a national stage to do a donation. So that means that people in Ohio, and what we're trying to do is we want 1 million African Americans to give us $1. 1 million to give us $1. There you go, right? Farmers.org. 1 million to give us $1.
Okay. So you got in the building, you got your doors open, you start getting merchandise. How does that work when you want to put products in your store? Do they give it to you up front or you have to pay up front? How does that work?
Well, what happened was when I opened the Save-A-Lot, I gave the Save-A-Lot company $250,000. And they fleeced me. They fleeced me. So what happened was they came up one day and said, we ain't selling you no more groceries. We're gonna close you down. So then they started shopping around my location for a new retail partner that didn't look like me.
Right.
Because I had the Indians came in and they offered me $500,000. I said no. Then they came back and offered me $1 million. I said no. Then they came back and offered me $2 million. I said no again. Because
they wanted your store and they wanted your location.
They want location. They wanted location. So when I fought for my location, then all of a sudden, I called the governor of North Carolina, and I called the representative of North Carolina, and that's how I was able to get groceries. Jason Springs, he's a local county councilman in Florence, South Carolina. Jason Springs made a call and said, hey, go give Tim some groceries. Why can't you give him some groceries? So what happened was the local IGA or MDI, they got a $360 million grant to expand their company. So guess who I called to help me? The local DEI, Mara Sparrow. She used to be the local DEI representative for North Carolina Chamber of Commerce. She doesn't have a job anymore. Donald Trump got rid of her. So when I was able to contact her, she helped me get groceries in my store. So the rest that's where I am now.
Okay. So you able to get trucking companies to bring stuff in. They're not trying to slow that process down, or who's giving you the pushback? Is it
who's giving me pushback is there's a local nonprofit that's giving me a hard time. It's really giving me a hard time. And they are an African American group. And they're trying to do to me the same thing Donald Trump is doing to the country. How in the world can you try to shut down a Black-owned grocery store in today's climate? But, legally, that's all I can say. I can't say anything other than that. But the only reason I spoke on that is because you asked me. And one thing about it, if someone has the privilege of bringing you onto their platform and they ask you a question, tell the truth. Don't sugarcoat. There's a lot of people hide behind the shaking the hands, but right now that's where we are.
Oh man. So do you have problems getting products?
No. My problem is that I just need some financing to buy the products. Every dollar that I get from the shareholders, every dollar that I get from the National Black Farmers goes to buy product. Because the parking lot is already built. I don't need $5 million to build a grocery store. The grocery store is already built. I just need product to start turning over. And that's what happened. Because you went on my left, you remember the little girls that sell delicious lemonade? That sell the three little girls that wrote a bullying book and put the lemonade. I sold out in one day. True Detergent, I sold out in one day. Nigel Curry Spices from he's out of Phoenix, Arizona. I'm selling his product now. Anglers Fishing. I sell this guy that does the online fishing. I sell his apparel in the store.
Oh, okay.
Larry Singleton. He's out of Nebraska. He's sending me. He makes fishing rods. Do you know this African American guy that makes fishing rods and poles? See, so what happened was now that I can put it on just imagine if I created a website where you truly know that the authenticity of saving a grocery store and the ability to buy Black where you are. That's huge, man. I guarantee you in the next 90 days, man, I'll probably make about $2 million. I tried to get in contact with Master P, Snoop Dogg, Cat Williams. Man, Shaq bought $70,000 worth of stuff from Walmart. Just imagine if he put that $70,000 in my grocery store. It'll never stop turning.
Hmm.
I took
I'm gonna do my part and circulate this video after we finish. Because
I took $200 worth of black-owned product, and I'm still flipping. I'm still flipping it.
We got some people in here that are person here said they're from upstate, so they're gonna be in touch with you. And then we got somebody to hear this from Columbia, and I got a nephew in Columbia. I got a sister that lives and brother-in-law that live in Mount Pleasant. So I'm gonna share this video with them. And my brother-in-law is a longshoreman.
Oh wow! I got a guy that's he's in New Orleans. Crazy Bees Spice. He was on an ocean platform, and he sent me a video, and he's making some spice, and he's gonna send it to me. Okay. See, I'm tapped into the American dream of at such as a time as this. I wonder why God allowed Save-A-Lot to pull out of my store, and I know why now, because he needed me to be able to put products in here so we could survive. That's what he did. I'm the Harriet Tubman of the internet. Just imagine if TikTok shut down. What y'all gonna do? Where you gonna sell your product at? You're gonna have to come to community grocery store and sell it.
Are you a member of the Black Farmers Index?
Yes. Right now, there's a farm, Benita Collins down in she teaches African American. It's called Farm Sisters down in Charleston. Now she's out of Columbia, but she teaches black women how to farm. Matter of fact, she's got a webinar that happens on the 21st. This do black women farmers, and she gave me access to 2 farmers, and I had collars free all Easter.
To put in the store, and I know that walk right out the door fast. You can put it in the
door. Perry Stevenson's. He's a local farmers market guy. He put $700 worth of product in my store. He's taking over my farmers market, so there's no way I would be able to do it without him.
So a lot of your produce as far as vegetables is right there local in the state.
Right. South Carolina exports 85% of its products to other places that can't grow it, but they don't sell it here. I used to buy canned goods. There's this canned good company called Goody Canned Goods. Andrew Johnson contacted me, and if you don't know about Goody's Canned Goods, you need to Google it. Andrew Johnson, he's trying to get canned goods to be now. And my hat's off to Andrew. He's told me, say, hey, Tim, just raise a little capital. You don't have to buy them. You could just come pick them up. You got to buy them, but you're going to have to ship them. You can come pick them up. He's working with me to put together where I can pre-sell. I'm trying to pre-sell $10,000 worth of canned goods from Andrew. And I think I will.
Oh, yeah. Because I tell people who don't realize where you are located, you're right at where I20 and I95 meet.
Correct.
Yeah, I grew up in Fayetteville, so that's
okay.
Yeah, I was born in Fayetteville.
Stephen A. went to what?
Yeah, he went to Winston-Salem, but he's from New York.
Yeah,
but I grew up always coming through Florence over to Columbia, going to Alabama to visit my parents' people, and then we come back through there. Always that I20 corridor, get to Florence, you loop around, you on 95. So I'm real familiar with where you are, and you're in a prime area in the state.
Yeah,
because 95 goes north and south all the way up into Canada, down to the Florida Keys, and then 20 go all the way across the country. So you're right in the middle of a great spot.
Yes, sir.
To do what you do.
Just imagine. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Just imagine once I become Jeff Bezos took his company to Seattle, but his distributions are on the main corridor. Just imagine once I create our own black Amazon. I've already called it the Now, out of the Euphrates River. The name of our online store is going to be Now Outlet. because it's for the now. We're going to feed the black communities through the now. And this time they cannot burn down our Wall Street.
That's right.
Yeah, because there's a misconception that we as African Americans was afraid of the Klan or they came and burned us out. There's a group of militant brothers that came back from the war. I can't remember the city in. The Klan was scared of us. I know people there. See the movies on the South that the hoods had you running. We wasn't scared. Let me tell you something, man. You was brought here in a boat. We was brought here in a boat in chains. Come on, man. Do you think we afraid of what you think we afraid? Man, we're gonna roll out. We're gonna roll out. And brothers been rolling out. So don't let Hollywood take you that you timid, that we don't work together, that we this and that. Come on, man. We one of the strongest people in the world, man. We built this. You think we can't build another Jeff Bezos? Tim Bezos Waters. Let's go. Let's get it.
Mm-hmm. Now, with your business right there where you are,
yes,
are you planning to expand into other cities?
I'm glad you asked that. It took $5 million to expand and to build that location. And when I built that location, it like I had to do, it was two nonprofits. It was a municipality and a nonprofit. That was 17 people I had to appease at one time. That shit was hard. So now what the internet has done, I'm going to open up locations in every store simultaneously. How could you possibly do that? Through the World Wide Web. I'm not going to open another brick and mortar. I'm going to open up another store in your neighborhood where you can order from me and get your stuff delivered within a few days or a few hours.
So you're looking at doing warehousing.
I'm looking at doing warehouse. No, I'm glad you asked that. I'm not doing warehouses. I'm doing direct shipping. You want me to explain
out of one central location?
You want me to explain to you what direct shipping is?
Yeah, please.
Direct shipping is that the young lady that makes the necklaces that's in Ohio, right? Mm-hmm. Just imagine if she tells me that, okay, I want to sell 1,000 necklaces. Instead of her warehousing the necklaces to me, they come to my warehouse, come to my website, I order them, and I direct ship it to her, and she sends them out from her location.
Okay.
Yeah, see what I did was you take Walmart and you make your individual, instead of Walmart getting all the profit, which is what they do, I'm gonna take the profit and take it back to the people that's making the product. And think about it. If Master P and Snoop Dogg came up with some cereals and they sent it to Walmart, Walmart put the cereal in the back and said it wasn't selling. So they're in a lawsuit right now. Mm-hmm. Just imagine if Master P and them would have created their own website and did direct shipping. You ain't needed no Walmart. Let's go, man. Let's go.
So you're looking to get eventually, maybe down the line, not even having a brick and mortar store, but direct shipping.
Direct shipping, because that's what Jeff Bezos makes his money. He don't make his money off the Amazon. He don't make his money off those Amazon shipping centers. He makes those money off of people using Amazon to ship directly. Do you notice when you go to Amazon, they'll have 3 different people that sell the same thing, and the price is different. He ain't got none of that stuff warehouse. You place an order with Amazon. Amazon contact me, and I ship it out. Hello. That's the key. Logistics. Shout out to my son. He went to Clemson University, and he graduated with the same degree that Jeff Bezos had, which was industrial engineering. So he's telling me this stuff, how logistics drives the market, not brick and mortar, not ideas. It's logistics, because if you can't get what I buy, you ain't gonna buy it.
Okay, I got a question from one of the viewers. It says, I'll put it up on screen, let you read it, and then because it involves your area.
Okay, I'm late. How is Florence doing for the grocery market? Because I know that Lidl closed in Florence recently. How is Florence doing through these hard times? Florence finna get a Publix. So that tells you how Florence doing in the market. Florence finna get a Publix. Florence is on an economic boom now, and right now, the first 2 months I opened, I made $300,000. The last year I made 100.
That's over your expenses.
Over my expenses, I made 1.3 million my first year. And Save a Lot said we didn't want an African American man owning the store, so we can find us somebody else that more amenable. Hello, and I can say that because my attorney ain't on here now. So Florence has a boom market, and now's the time to expand.
Have you ever heard of something called Bluesky? Somebody in the chat is asking about that.
About what's
Bluesky, BLUESKY.
No, I've never heard of that. I mean, no, I haven't heard of that.
So when they saw you making money, and you got too big for their taste, that's when they wanted to pull back from you. That's when they pulled their name brand from you.
They pulled their name brand because I figured out a niche. I figured out their market. Google yellow banana in Chicago. Google yellow banana, or Google yellow banana. Yellow Banana is this group of investors, black brothers that came together, and the city of Chicago gave them $26 million to build 7 Save-A-Lots, and they still closed. They never opened. That's a bad Save-A-Lot's a bad model, man. It's just a bad model. I'm sorry. I mean, it's a bad model.
So when you get in partnership with that company, they make the money, you get the crumbs.
You get the crumbs. And so what happened was I figured that out. So I was like, I ain't taking no crumbs. I'm gonna try to create my own. And they gotta just imagine a $1 billion company take you to court. How can I fight a $1 billion company? There's no way. I can't afford a 10. And they had a lawyer. They had a lawyer that was on me. That lawyer was costing me. That lawyer cost $10,000 a day. How can I compete with that?
So you did, or when you originally opened, you opened as a Save-A-Lot.
Correct.
But then when you realized what they were doing, you said, you know what, just go on your way and I'll just do my own thing.
I'll do my own thing. Yes.
But had you signed a contract where you agreed to partner with them for X amount of time or whatever?
No, I didn't. It wasn't.
So they had the right to leave and you had the right to leave.
But guess what? I didn't leave them. They left me. I didn't leave Save-A-Lot. Save-A-Lot kicked me to the curb. But
it seems like you're doing better without them.
The God knows. God, let me tell you what God did. God said, Tim, get rid of that company. And I couldn't see, you can see to the end of the street. God can see around the corner. And God saw around the corner that Trump was going to get elected, that we was going to need to come together, and they needed to be a congruent grocery store to make the churches come together and make it happen. And that's what I'm doing now.
So now that you have this store and you're completely self-sufficient, how's the community support been? Particularly the community that you're sitting in.
Not good at all.
So you still getting people coming from the outside patronizing.
You remember Jesus? You remember that parable that Jesus was from what? Nineveh? Is that correct?
Nazareth.
Nazareth. No. What's the Jesus hometown? I'm sorry, the Bible scholars.
Nazareth.
Jesus from Nazareth, but he wasn't welcome in Nazareth. He had to go preach somewhere else. That's how it is. You never welcome in your home because people still see me as Tim Waters with this issue, Tim Waters with that issue. Oh, I don't like him. He thinks he's this, he thinks he's that. So the majority of people that support my store are people that, do you know when I was a Save-A-Lot, 75% of my customers were white?
Really?
75%.
And they didn't live, and they definitely didn't live in the community. They came from other places.
That's right.
Other parts of town.
And that's how it's gonna be, man. There's nothing you can do about that because that's a Willie List syndrome in the South. You know, we were taught to hate each other and we were taught to despise each other. But you got to do business regardless. Some people have been coming to support me. There's a large group, the shareholders. I got 800 shareholders that really got my back. Ms. Nettles, Veronica Nettles. She comes. I mean, I don't want to call up names because I may call up somebody I forget. But I just, people that come and shop with me every day, and they make it happen.
So it seems like, let me see how I can put this. You built the store in that community to help that community.
Right.
but you're not getting the support from that community. You're still
Correct.
getting the support from outside. So
Correct.
it's got to be frustrating and make you want to say, well, why am I even here if I'm not getting the support from the people where the building sits?
Yeah, it is frustrating, and it is frustrating, and not only is frustrating, you know, I know people that I go around and hang around, and I go to events, and I have somebody may have an event, and I see IGA bread and IGA bags on the table, and I know they didn't buy it from me, and I don't get upset. And the first thing they said to me, well, you don't have it, or you don't have it of value, and I'm like, okay, you use that, but you look past that and say, hey, can you buy something from me? And you move on. But what has happened when somebody told me to make a TikTok video. When I made that TikTok video,
that's how I found you.
Let me tell you something, man. I got the world by the bootstrap now. The hottest thing in South Carolina now is boots on the ground. Boots on the ground.
Yeah, that's something.
I got the boots on the ground now, my brother, and we moving forward.
That's good, man. That is good. What was I going to ask you? Have you reached out to the churches in the community?
Yeah, the PD Baptist Association consists of 66 churches, and they got my back. Reverend Calvin Daniels, Reverend Jermaine Walker, they are my spiritual and business advisors. They are advising me to, especially Reverend Daniels. The Reverend Daniels has been my number one man. One Sunday, it got too much for me. I fell on my knees and I told God to take this away from me. It was too much. And I called Reverend Daniels, and Reverend Daniels said, hey, Tim, don't give up. Reverend Daniels told me to concentrate on the positive. Don't worry about that sideline noise. Don't worry about what people are doing. Don't worry about the negative. Don't worry about fighting nobody. Concentrate on saving the store. And Reverend Daniels and Reverend Walker are the two spiritual advisors that have been guiding me, and there's no way I would have been able to get where I am without them. So together, I'm not by myself anymore. I got a team of people who are telling me what to say, what not to say, be quiet. Mm-hmm. I know I'm gonna get fussed at already. You on this man podcast, you're talking too much. You're talking too much. I know. But guess what?
I'm trying to help get the word out because I want
to tell you something, bro.
Let
me tell you something. First of all, I feel comfortable with talking to you. And I feel like, and then anybody that reaches out, man, you in Cleveland, Ohio. I'm in Florence, South Carolina. You reached out to me, man. I have nothing but to give you the best that I can do.
Right. And
tonight, me and you Shannon Sharp, and I'm Cat Williams. It's on. I'm Gary. Watch what happens.
Yeah, man.
You Shannon Sharp, and I'm Cat Williams.
What motivated me really to reach out to you? It's so few of you out here. That's one. Two, I grew up in Tuskegee, Alabama.
Oh, wow.
And the grocery store that was in my town was owned by a black man, and he was independent. And before he passed away, he ended up owning 6 grocery stores. Wow. And he eventually sold them because he wanted to retire. He was getting in his late 60s. He said, hey, it's time for me to go do something else with my life. And he owned the entertainment company as well. He was putting on concerts and stage plays and all that. So he was transitioning into something else. So he said, hey, he started out straight out of high school, working at a grocery store, saved up enough money, bought his own grocery store before he was 25. And then he just kept building. So when I saw you, I said, hey, I'm pretty sure if he's got to be the only one in that town, definitely. And then when you tell me the state, and I'm starting thinking like, yeah, that makes sense. It's not too many privately owned, especially look like us in the grocery business. I said, let me talk to him. And I kept figuring out how I'm gonna get in touch with him. So I inboxed you. And then just as I was inboxing you that day, Pastor Hyman contacted, hey, you need to interview this guy. So I've been trying to reach him. I said, can you get me a number? And 5 minutes later, he said, here's his number. So I text you and you text me right back. And so that's how we end up here, because I want to do whatever I can to get the word out about what you're doing there. Because even though you're right there doing it locally, you already have a mindset of, hey, I want to take this thing all across the country.
Correct.
So I want to do what I can to help you make that a reality, because a lot of people have, like you said, this Willie Lynch mindset. oh, if I help him, that's gonna hurt me. No, if you help somebody, they might turn around and help you, or if they can't help you, they know somebody else who can,
How it works.
and then we all come up together.
That's how it works. That's how it works.
Yeah, but somewhere, like you said, we got to get back to that. And looks like we're forced to get back to that mindset like we had, our parents had in the 40s and 50s, because all they had was each other.
Correct.
So they had to go to stores in their neighborhood because they couldn't go across town. They had to go to school and church and work. Well, they could work outside the community, but at night they had to come back home. So while they was at home, they had to get their food, their doctors, everything was done in the community. So correct. I'm going to say to you, I'm going to try to give you these words of encouragement. Hold on as best you can in that community, because sooner or later, the people in that community are going to come around, because they're going to get tired of driving across town to go shop when you got a store right there. And your son one day, when you decide to sit down or either step back a little bit, okay, son, you got it from here.
Yeah.
Or grandchild or niece or nephew, or somebody in your family.
How about this? I already put the shares in Miles' name. Miles ain't number 2 months old.
Right.
So we already laid the foundation. We just got to hold on.
That's it. Just hold on. And like you said, when them people, because when they come to you offering to buy you out, they already see the long-term goal that you already got. They're like, hey, we can make some money here.
Correct.
But you know what's so frustrating, though? You're right there now working, and some people won't come. But if you sold to somebody that don't look like us,
they'll come run.
And they just stick a sign on the side of the building, grand opening. It's the same store, same merchandise. It's just the ownership has changed, and the place be packed front to back. And that's a frustrating thing. I know that got to be frustrating you, but I'm just hoping that me and other people that are hearing your story are going, hey man, just hold on just a little while longer.
There's somebody who's looking at this, and I'm gonna call them Florence Nightingale. Mm-hmm. I got a Florence Nightingale that's coming to my rescue, and I can't. That's all I can say. I know when I'm gonna make sure I send her a copy of this video, because I want her to know she got a shout out. Florence Nightingale is coming. She got a plan for me, a strategic plan, and it's gonna work, man. It's gonna work.
Oh yeah, because I mean, you're doing a great thing to help yourself and your family, but it's also helping the community where you are.
Yes.
And once things start really, really rolling like you want it to, it's gonna go coast to coast.
I appreciate it, sir.
Oh yeah, man. Because definitely, what you're doing, you look left, look right, look front, and look back. Ain't too many of you.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
I venture to say it's less than 25 of you in the country.
Yeah,
I'm just saying 25. It might not even be 15. I don't know. Because as time goes on, people sell out, people get bought out, people close shop, because when COVID hit, a lot of businesses couldn't stay open.
That's right.
And you opened up right in the midst of it.
In the midst of COVID stopped my building from being built, because all the steel workers got COVID. I never remember that day. All 22 of them got COVID. That was rough. So I was paying a loan. I was paying a loan back, small loan back, for 2.5 years, and the store wasn't even built. I was paying that out of pocket. I'm telling you, man, things that I could tell. I could write a book about what happened.
You should. Put the book right there in your store and sell it right up.
Amen. Amen, my brother. Amen.
Sell it online or sell it right there in your store, and autograph it as they going out the door.
Yes, sir.
Every dollar counts.
I like that. So
I don't want to hold you much longer, but I just want to. What else would you like to tell the people before we get off here?
This is if there's one thing I can say, and I want to make sure this is for someone out there that's struggling. One of the things I did was that I gave my business back to God. I told him whatever he wanted to do. If he wanted to sell and wanted to take somebody else take it over, whether he wanted someone else to run it, whether he wanted me to run it, whether he wanted me to partner with somebody, I said, do whatever you will. And then I've been submissive. The majority of people that told me things I did not like, I did not want to hear, but they were best for me. I'm telling you. So the last thing I would ask you to do is just go online, go to blackfarmers.gov.org and donate $1. I'm looking for 1 million people to give us $1. And if you know of somebody who has the financial wherewithal that could help us, please help us save this black store. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm going to want to bring you back because I didn't want to keep you because it's the holiday, but I wanted to get you on. And people that have been waiting, this is the type of stories that I'm going to be doing going forward. These are the type of interviews that I'm going to be doing and the type of content that I'm going to be doing going forward. I have one person asking a question. She's kind of interested. Well, she's not kind of. She's interested in opening a store in a community where she's moving to, and she wants to know, is there a central location where information on opening my own grocery store is located? Where did you do your research before you got into doing the grocery store? What kind of websites did you go to? What kind of information were you pulling offline to help you get started?
Well, what I did, I built my own database. And what you can do is you can give her my phone number and give her my contact.
Okay.
Anybody that wants to open a grocery store, I will help you because I will give you the same information that I got and I won't charge you anything because you can't get nothing in your hand like this. The only way you give it is like that. That's right. Call me, contact me and say, hey, Tim, what did you do? How did you do? I wrote for a federal grant to open this grocery store. I wrote for 7 years in a row and they turned me down every year. 28 banks turned me down before I was able to get funded. So I got a plethora, a wealth of knowledge, and I don't mind sharing.
Okay. Does your store have a phone number I can put up there and they can contact?
884. This is my cell. I'll give you my personal cell.
Okay, hold on. Let me put it in the hold on here. Okay. What's the number?
843-472-7463.
742-74663?
Yes, sir.
843-472-7463.
Yes, sir.
All right. And you write it down, screenshot it, give them a call, and not only when you call them, how much you say your shares are going for?
The shares are $25 a share. However, you can go to blackfarmers.org and do a donation, and it's tax deductible. So I'm looking for 1 million people to give me $1. I'm asking for all the viewers to send $1, and that's all I need because the store is built. I just need to put some groceries in the store, and that's all.
Okay. So people inside South Carolina can buy some shares. But if you're not in South Carolina, you can go to blackfarmers.org and you can donate, and your donation will be tax deductible. Correct. All right. Well, Mr. Waters, I'm going to be in touch with you because I got some questions offline that I need to ask you.
Okay.
Enjoy your family. Enjoy your time.
Yeah.
Your quick rest break.
Thank you.
But I want to bring you back because we can't just do a part one of this. I need to follow up because when this video starts circulating, people are going to have questions. And you're doing a great thing, and I want to help you any way I can.
And let me tell you something. Before we go, I want to say this. One of the reasons why I took the time out today is because you reached out to me. Your platform is huge, and I want to really thank you for allowing me to be on it. And if there's anything I can do, fundraising, try to help you, just let me know, man. Let me know.
Thank you very much. I will be in contact because you've opened my head up to the whole shareholder thing, and I'm gonna do the legwork. I just need you to show me where to go and who to call, and I'll take care of it from there.
Yeah,
I appreciate you, and you're going to get you some rest because you can't do your thing if you don't get some rest, man. Thank you so much, and I will be in touch with you.
Thank you. God bless you.
All right, take care now.
Take care now.
Now, this is what I'm going to be doing moving forward. This is the kind of content I'll be doing moving forward. Interviewing people, helping people, educating people, because this man saw a need, had a dream, put the two together, and he has a grocery store, and he's told you all the adversity he's had to go through one, starting the business, getting it built. Now that he's got it open, he's still dealing with stuff. So this is what my platform is going to be about moving forward. And thank you for coming. Enjoy your Easter. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your family. See you soon. I got some more people lined up for you. Take care now. If you haven't done so already, please click like and share. Thank you. And this is his store. That's the location right there. That's his location. And his address for that location is on the ticket tape at the bottom. Y'all have a good one.